Hi everyone, it's Emma here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you've not been here before. Today what I thought I would do for a video, regardless of how good the suggestions were to do a video on banana or the great fall of Nazi Germany, right? I thought that I would do a get ready with me while telling you my weightlifting journey. So listen, don't expect any any English style tutorial here. Do not take with you on a night out, but you can enjoy it at your own entertainment and hear a bit of a story about how I got into weightlifting and maybe how you can get into it too. And I'm going to start off by putting on a bit of beauty flash balm. So it started off in 1995. When I was 16, I was doing bowling, 10-pin bowling. The one that you go and you get pissed with your friends and you throw a ball or your friend down the lane. That's the one that I used to do as a competitive sport. I competed on the junior and the senior and all the different kind of teams for Ireland with this, which I get endless slagging for. Rightfully so, because I go bowling and it's not something you want to see. What I'm doing with my concealer here, which for anybody who wants to know is the Essence Camouflage Concealer. So I was also into surfing at the time, so I was on a surf weekend, and towards the end of the weekend we were kind of like showing off our little tricks and stuff, so we decided to have this little competition, and it was basically doing a handstand on your surfboard. So I got into the water and we were all kind of getting warmed up, and my competitive side got quite into it, and next thing I'd fallen on my ankle and I had twisted my ankle. So not that fun. So I think I'm finished. Thank you for watching. Alright, so what happened on the surf weekend was basically I twisted my ankle, sprained my ankle, and then I came home and I could not bowl. I mean, I could barely walk, so I mean, yeah, that would have been a good start. But basically, when I went back, so after about 3 weeks, my ankle was kind of okay. I was able to walk, running was probably pushing it, but I went back to bowling and I was thinking that's fine, because I mean, as you all probably can guess, there's not too much cardio activity involved in bowling. It's very, you know, very controlled walking at best. It's for me anyways. So basically, when I got to the end of the approach, which is basically between from where you pick up the ball to where you release the ball onto the lane, the way that I would land at the finishing line, my ankle just like, it was not having any of it. So I was coming into the summer at the time and I ended up getting a gym membership because I was in fact able to squat, and the physio told me to not kind of, you know, not give up on everything and maybe kind of start going to the gym. So I joined this gym in Bray at the time because I was able to do everything. Like, I was able to press with my feet. I just wasn't able to like twist my ankles the way, I don't know, the way you end up doing with bowling. You can kind of see the way that your ankle just like, I don't know, it just gets very involved. Okay, so I'm finished with my concealer and I'm gonna go in with some foundation. I'm just gonna blot it onto my face. So what happened from there was I went in and I went to get a, you know, one of those plans from one of the trainers. And so I went in with like literally wanting everything on the menu. Gain muscle, lose weight, tone up, get faster, get stronger, be fitter. And it was just like, I wanted everything. So in the end, what he gave me was a settlement. He gave me a 3-week program, which was body weight work. And basically he was saying that if I wanted to lift weights, that I needed to do these 3 weeks first to build a good base. So I was kind of like, oh right, okay, whatever you say, boss. So I did my 3 weeks and I was there like religiously because it was summer. I mean, you know what I mean? So come to 3 weeks, I was so eager to kind of get into the lifting because I'd done my time and I wanted to get, you know, under a barbell. I'm gonna throw a little bit more foundation on because my forehead's feeling a bit neglected. So after the 3 weeks, I went back and the guy handed me on to another dude. And so I was delighted because he was proper jacked. So I was like, I'm gonna be like you. But I did not want quads. I did not want quads. I did not want traps. I didn't want any of that. So I was handing it on to this big dude and he gave me this program. Again, I ordered everything on the menu. So what I got was a program that was just like almighty. Like, it was brutal. I'd go in and I'd have my weight session, that would be like an hour and a half, and then I'd go to the loo and that would be like my way of intervaling my entire session, and then I would have 70 minutes of cardio. So that, along with a couple of drunk nights, was my summer when I was 16. So then I went into 5th year and I joined my school gym, and you know what? The place was really small, but it did the job. It got the job done. I obviously had my year of school and I just kind of chipped away at it and I just enjoyed the gym. So I'm going to do some contour using my Kiko stick. So basically, gosh, I think I've gone a bit OTT. So let's see how this pans out together. So then come my summer of after finishing 5th year, I was looking around at other gyms because I didn't want to go to my school gym all summer. It's hard enough to make myself go to school during the school year, never mind in the summer. So that was not on the table. This is going to be a long blending journey right now. I don't know why I went so dramatic, but sure luck. I was looking at other gyms and I was really into YouTube at the time. So I remember all the YouTubers that I was like really into were in Raw in Sandyford. So I was watching like Rob Lipsett and Kyle Mullen and Nikki Blackadder and all those kind of people. So then while looking for a different gym, I kept coming back to Raw. So I ended up joining Raw. I went again to get like my, you know, joining program. I went to one of the guys at the desk and he ended up referring me on to a coach in another branch of that gym. I was asking for a power building program, so a mix between powerlifting and bodybuilding. So then this coach took me on. And that was the start of that. So then I started training for a powerlifting competition. I hope I don't look like that Jim Carrey meme right now with my contoured ass coloured face, but I don't know, I shall see. Okay, so if you hadn't gathered already, I'm not that great at telling stories, so bear with. What happened was I was training all the time. I loved it. I was training for a powerlifting competition, and in the lead up I was still, obviously I had all my school stuff, and the idea was that I would do a powerlifting competition and then I would start learning weightlifting. So in the meantime I was kind of going through the movement of the snatch and I was kind of learning that on really light weights, and while I was doing my powerlifting competition program I was doing all my warm-ups for far longer than I should have with weightlifting, just doing snatch upon snatch upon snatch, and then I'd be like, all right, okay, I'll do my powerlifting stuff then after. Like, I was just so in love with the weightlifting that I ended up doing a warm-up that would last like 50 minutes of just doing a snatch at the exact same kind of very small weight. So I went on holidays and I was in Lanzarote and I was training all the time and I was doing all of that, and I remember on the 2nd of January 2018 that my back went, and it was just like a feeling that something wasn't right. From then on, that started a 7-month injury of my back. Hi again. So my camera actually died, the battery actually died. So what I did was I put it on charge and I did my eyebrows for a couple minutes. So you will never know the secret formula of how to have mediocre eyebrows like me, unfortunately. But I'm gonna get back into the story, and I'm also gonna finish off the rest of my face makeup. So I'm gonna throw on a bit of face powder. So I had this 7-month long back injury. So it was kind of on and off. So I kind of would get like false hope that I'd be back to good, that I'd be back to being able to lift. In the end, there was no point to continue with coaching for the powerlifting competition. You know, in that space of time, I ended up going free range with my coaching. So I also went to a workshop then. It was just a random workshop that came up. It was like a weightlifting workshop, how to apply weightlifting to sports. So I thought, right, okay, yeah, that'd be great for my like portfolio of like being a personal trainer and everything. So I went to that and I ended up meeting this guy who called me back after to chat to me about joining his weightlifting club. So I was sort of like, yes, I would love to join the club, especially when I found out that it was like around the corner from where I live. So realistically, I wasn't kind of in the place where my body and my back could handle like throwing around weights and not throwing a hissy fit. So what I did was I basically kind of postponed it and said, listen, I'll get back to you about this, kind of like put a bookmark in it, knowing that I was going back there. So I was working with a physio a lot then later that year when it got really bad. And when it got really bad was I was starting a personal trainer job. I also had a Camino de Santiago, this big walk coming along. And my back just was not, it was not playing game. It was not like, I ended up going to the physio because I couldn't walk that week. I was like, I can't get out of bed. I can't sit down without it hurting. How am I supposed to get on a plane and walk 160 kilometers? But he ended up just being magic and ended up just working through it with me. I ended up being able to go on the trip, and then when I got back, I was starting my job in a week, and I ended up going into the job only being able to barely do a body weight squat. But I was able to do that, and that was what was important, and they knew that I was getting better. So keeping in mind this weightlifting club, my goal was, sorry, I'm just remembering that I'm supposed to be doing makeup. My goal was to join the club come, I think it was January was my goal. My back was better in September, so I ended up joining in October, and I have never looked back. Weightlifting means so much to me now. So I started competing in December, and I loved it. It was really, really nerve-wracking, but it was great, and my team, my family were just amazing, and it was such a good trip, and I genuinely was just hooked then. That was in December of 2018, so then I kind of competed here and there over the next year, and I ended up qualifying to represent Ireland in Wales the next November. So that was pretty cool. So in 2018, I competed on like the 3rd of December at my first competition. And then on the 29th of November, so within about 3 or 4 days of a year, I was in Wales competing for Ireland.
Get it. Reach!
Yes,
So it has been such a journey. And even since then, I've gone to Tenerife with my weightlifting family, and we've like lived with each other for like 10 days and not torn each other's heads off. So anybody thinking of getting into weightlifting, I would 100% recommend it. You can even just start with CrossFit and then kind of trail from there over to a club to do it full time, because I know that's how a lot of people get into it. So my next goal is to represent Ireland at the European Championships in 2021. So I cannot wait to get back to the gym and to bring you with me, and to bring you with me with my training, and just kind of get there, get to 2021, which I mean in itself, never mind weightlifting, looks like a task and a half, but we will get there, and we will get back to the gym, we'll get back to training, we will get back to getting our lashes and our nails and all that kind of stuff. We'll be okay. Okay, so I just have one, will I do eyeliner? Oh. So I'm gonna do my mascara. I mean, I could do eyeliner, but do any of us have the time for that right now? I think the answer is yes there, but if you tell anybody you're doing eyeliner and then you go to do it and it's just like it's cursed, so I think I'm just gonna stick to the lineup of what I have right now. I mean, how do people put on mascara and not get their eyelids all painted? Okay, so that is my completed look, and thank you so much for watching. I hope this was... So I nearly spilled this. Okay, right, I'm gonna stop being a detriment to myself, and I'm gonna say goodbye, and thank you very much for watching. So guys, that was my get ready with me weightlifting story. So how I got into weightlifting. If you want to get into weightlifting and you have any more questions, please put them in the comments down below or pop me a message on Instagram. And in other news, please click like if you enjoyed this video at all. Subscribe, click the notification bell so that you know when I'm posting any videos, and let me know if there's any videos you'd like to see. And in the meantime, stay safe and take care. Bye guys.